Hey there, it's Maggie with FamilyFrugalFun.com. I run a frugal family blog about having fun and getting deals wherever you go. And I want to talk to you today about your party planning guide for the next Super Bowl. That's right, we're here to have fun. You may not have tickets for the Super Bowl, but if you do your party right, you can feel like you're right on the bench at the game, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to do it now. Now, it just happens to fall on a night where everybody's got to get up and go to work, so it's going to be really important that you can clean up this mess fast and easy, and I'm going to give you some tips for that. And when we end everything, you can follow my blog, because I have created a special category just for the Super Bowl. Party planning tips, ideas, where you get things free off the internet, and coupons to save you money on food all the way around. Now, some of the first things you're going to want to think about are disposable baking trays. That's going to be really important, especially for hot wings. After you fry them and then put them in the oven to bake them, they can be really messy, and you don't want to spend hours cleaning up because you do have to get up and go to work the next day. So consider buying things like this or lining your pans with foil. You also want to create a feeling of tailgating or possibly being right at the game. So consider a cooler right next to your couch for everybody to get a beer or soda right while they're watching the game. There's nothing worse than a hot game and somebody screaming and yelling and then needing a drink and having to get up and go to your fridge. So make sure you've got the cooler right next to it all. When you're planning your Super Bowl party food, you also want to take into consideration that some of your guests may have to bring their children and not be able to get a sitter. Or you may have kids in your own home, and that is not the night you want food that you have to worry about cleaning up, chopping, or cutting up for any kids. So you want Super Bowl party friendly food, which means it's finger food for kids as well as the adults, and things where you're not going to have to clean up, where they don't even need to use a fork. Because remember, easy is our theme where it comes to the food, but we want to also make it fun, because a lot of people think that the Super Bowl party is the best party of the year, and you don't want to let your guests down. So with kids, I recommend going with chicken tenders, some kind of chips or goldfish, and we're doing celery and blue cheese dressing for our adults, but with kids, peanut butter might be a more friendly option. And you also need party things for the kids to do. So I'm just going to suggest crayons and an activity book or a coloring book, and don't forget about your local Redbox or Blockbuster Express to get a movie for them. 2 movies should make it through the whole Super Bowl, hopefully without a hitch. Now let's go over to our adult menu over here. We have a lot of different ideas, and as I said, party planning tips and recipes right on the site. But we want to do chips in big baskets, canned foods, so people don't have to stop watching the game to cut any food. Cutting food or anything like that is a no-no for Super Bowl Sunday. Also, make sure you've got some coffee, some hot creamer, and wings. They're an all-American favorite. You can make them any way you like it, but I like mine hot. I do like to go with some deviled eggs. That's really important to me. This is my celery and blue cheese. If you're going with hot dogs, you can certainly go with a chili sauce to go right over the dogs. Still no utensils necessary. These are my hot wings, chips. Definitely can't leave out salsa for the chips. Now, you can make your own party trays if you want to save and not buy from the store, just with some pre-sliced cheese and some Ritz crackers, Triscuits, or whatever you like. And to make things nice and easy, you want to be able to make whatever you can the day before, because you don't want to spend all your time in the kitchen prepping for this party before your guests come. So you want to make anything you can prior. Now here's a really easy thing that you can do. When you're making your deviled eggs, you boil them, peel them, and everything the day before. Then after you've mixed up your mixture, you just put it in a simple Ziploc baggie, clip off the end, and this is a really easy thing to make. You're certainly going to just squeeze it right out, and it makes it nice. And you don't have to have your fingers all over it and it get everywhere like when you're trying to put it into the eggshell with a spoon. It's much nicer this way. Woohoo! Now we're on to our food display and our party decoration for this high energy event. And I'm proud to say I didn't spend more than $20 on all of my decorations to keep things really festive. And I want to give you a couple of tips that you can do right at your home for your Super Bowl party coming up. Got this green paper tablecloth from my local Walmart, really cheap. Got a white crepe paper to put for my line markers. And then I printed out some stencils from my computer for the yard markers down the table to keep it in the real festive atmosphere. Now, a couple of things you don't want to forget at your party. If you do have kids, make sure you go with some juice boxes, because it won't be the night that you want to clean up glass or drinks that are spilled. Same thing with the adults. Some people might be drinking at your party, so you want to go with paper or plastic. No glass in the house at all, and whatever's disposable is going to be your easiest and best alternative. I went through my house and gathered all the football paraphernalia that I could find from my kids' rooms and everything, and here's what I came up with. I've got this one Ravens helmet, this one mug I'm going to fill with nuts, and this I'm going to fill up with candy. Now, for the children's table, which you're not seeing right here, but my son even made this little football stadium for the centerpiece on the children's party table, so we can keep things festive for the kids, which hopefully keeps them busy for the night while the adults have a little bit of party fun. It's also not the time you're going to go with a cheap white paper plate that might fold up and drop a lot of food on your couch. You're going to want to go with some festive party paper plates, like these football paper plates, or the ones we've got here specially marked for the 2012 Super Bowl. They're pretty sturdy and hardy, and they won't drop or bend and drop all the food if somebody really stacks it up so that they can sit on the couch for the next 3 hours. Now, another way to do some cheap decorations will be with streamers. Whatever two teams wind up going to the Super Bowl, all you need to do is get streamers, crepe paper, in those parties' colors and decorate your house with it. It's important to stay festive, just like I've got my jersey on and my headband now, so you create the atmosphere for your party and you have the ultimate in fun. Check with Family Frugal Fun for more frugal planning tips for your Super Bowl and all sorts of other things, and I'll see you next time.